Magandang araw po sa lahat. Ang pangalan ko ay Alpa Joy Alfafara, galing ng 11 Gas A. Ako po ay magpe-present sa inyo ng tungkol sa Mahayana Buddhism. Ito ay isang infographic on its brief history, core teachings, beliefs, practices, and related issues. Now, the brief history of Buddhism originated in India around 5th century BC and was founded by Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. Then, on 3rd century BC, Ashoka the Great, the Mauryan Indian emperor, made Buddhism the state religion of India. And Buddhism began to spread beyond India and is one of the minor religions in the Philippines. There are three classifications of Buddhism, and these are Theravada, which means way of the elders, and the other one is Mahayana, the greater vehicle, and the last is the Tibetan or Vajrayana, meaning the diamond school, but this one is only prevalent in Tibet and Nepal. Now, there are core teachings of Buddha, and these are known as Dharma. So the 6 important virtues, which are called paramitas, or meaning perfection, are generosity, dana, morality, or sila, patience, kisanti, courage, virya, knowledge, jhana or dhyana, and last, intuitive insight, which is prajna. There are 4 noble truths which Buddha taught, and these are the truth of suffering, dukkha, the truth of the cause of suffering, samudaya, and the third one, the truth of the end of suffering, nirvudha, and last, the truth of the path that frees us from suffering, magga. Now, the influences of Mahayana Buddhism in the Philippines can be seen in the evidence through linguistic forms that our indigenous folk religions have adopted. So most of them, or some of them, are still being used up to now. And these samples are Diwata, Guro, meaning teacher, Sampalataya, meaning faith, Mukha, face, and also Bathala, which is a supreme being. Now we have here Chu Chi Foundation, was started in 1966 by Venerable Dharma Master Cheng Yen. It was initially the Buddhist Compassion Relief Chu Chi Merit Society to help the poor people in Taiwan. Now Chu Chi Foundation is a Mahayana Buddhism faith-based. So the people of the Philippines and of Chu Chi have a close relationship like members of the same family. This is what Venerable Dharma Master Cheng Yen said. And because of this, it has shown mutual benefits from both the donors and the beneficiary. Now, Chu Chi's core is the Mahayana's compassion to help alleviate suffering worldwide. Now, they have held cash relief programs as well as healthcare program for the poor community in the Philippines and many other charity events. They also have had international outreach, such as for last year during COVID-19 pandemic that happens. They have also distributed face masks in the healthcare field, as well as promoting healthy diet lifestyle. And all this can be seen or updated on their websites. Because of Mahayana's core teaching of being passionate and benevolent, Chu Chi has stem cell center that helps people with leukemia, people with cancers or diabetes to be cured. So through stem cells, they can help them grow new cells, find out the genetic defects in these cells, or why certain cells develop into cancer cells. Now, the recent one that has benefited from Chu Chi, who overcame lockdown to deliver bone marrow to Singapore. The woman was a Singaporean who was not able or failed to find a match in the Singapore bone marrow registry. So at the end of last year, she sought a cure from the Chuchi Stem Cell Center. Now, the quarantine restrictions required by COVID-19 pandemic have disrupted the delicate arrangements used to transport bone marrow. Normally, it is hand-carried for the entire journey. Now, what happened here, there was a chartered flight from Singapore that landed in Hua Hin, East Taiwan, and left an hour later on the return journey carrying the bone marrow that saved the life of a 40-year-old Singaporean woman. It was the first time that Chuchi Stem Cell Center has handed over the precious material via an international transit charter flight. And this was made possible by the full support of the Hawaiian Airport, the Hawaiian County, and the Health Bureau and the Aviation Police. So this is one of the benefits of all of them having the same beliefs and having compassionate hearts. So according to the Chuchi website, so they have had recipients all over the world from 30 countries. Now, Mahayana Buddhism, reflecting on genetics engineering, reveals that their stance is seen as being ethical and compassionate, as it is intended for the purpose of alleviating human suffering without harm to another sentient being. So because of Mahayana, the world is the beneficiary. So from January 21st to 22nd, I sent out a simple survey to get a feel or understanding of this subject in the real world, in my own community. So it's a time-pressured and candid survey sent to a number of Facebook friends with this question. As a Filipino and a Christian, do you approve of human cloning? Why or why not? I had also put underneath that what if cloning could help alleviate suffering for organ donors and those who need organ replacements? So with this, as a result, it's more of the fear of these advancements, getting abused or getting into the wrong hands is their biggest factor of the people rejecting the idea of the genetic engineering such as cloning. However, there are very few, a couple who approves of genetic engineering, as long as the good outweighs the bad. That's one of the conditions, or only for specific organs, not the whole human being. However, there is one that said genetic engineering addresses the quality of life on earth. So that's why they would have agreed on this and alleviates suffering. In 2012, Jennifer Doudna and Emmanuel Charpentier published their finding that CRISPR-Cas9 could be programmed with RNA to edit or modify genomic DNA, now considered one of the most significant discoveries in the history of biology. Now, this promises a better alternative that may not cause moral and ethical discourse, especially amongst the religious society. Now, Jennifer Doudna, a pioneer who helped simplify genome editing, has received a Nobel Prize for this. Thank you for watching and giving your time to listen to this vlog. And we have now come to the end of the video. I would just like to leave a few words of reminder that, like Mahayanas and Chuchi, its core teaching is to be compassionate and benevolent. We can be the same. However, it's also good to remember what Golden Buddha said. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. So maraming salamat po once again for your time. God bless you.